Well, hello and welcome to episode 13 of the All Things Leeds podcast with myself, Ed McIntyre, and joining me in the studio, as ever, is Leeds United fan Charles Foster. How are you, Charles?
I'm alright, mate. A bit disappointed about the weekend, but I'm alright.
Yeah.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm not bad, good week.
Yeah.
Apart from the loss.
Apart from the loss, it was pretty good.
And also joining us in the studio, making his second appearance on the podcast, it is LeedsUnitedMAD. It's Kev Markey. How are you, Kev?
Hi guys, yeah, I'm fantastic. Yeah, nice of you to invite me on show 13.
Yeah.
Hopefully I bring some luck to it all, for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was thinking about that going into this. So it's episode 13. Hopefully it's not an unlucky podcast, but it is, isn't it? Because Leeds United have just come back. I've just lost a very crucial game.
Yeah.
We will, of course, in this hour, reflect on that disappointment from last Saturday. That saw Leeds United lose 1-0. Sheffield United at Ellen Road. And then we will try and cheer ourselves up by talking about the U23s and their dramatic win last Thursday at Evermore Park. Don't know if any of you guys saw it.
Yeah, I've heard about it and saw it on Twitter and everything. Saw it unfold during the course of the evening. Great result, yeah. Yeah,
beating Fulham on penalties.
10 men.
On penalties.
Berardi scoring the winning pen.
to progress to the next round of the Premier League Cup. No Leeds game to look forward to in this podcast, as it is, of course, the international break. So we'll discuss England for a bit. Why not?
Why not?
Plenty of stuff coming up here on the All Things Leeds podcast. So, Kev, the last time we had you in, I asked you, are Leeds United going to get promoted? Are you still optimistic after that 1-0 loss to Sheffield United?
Yeah.
Or are you like many other fans? Have you thrown the towel in already?
No, it's amazing how many people have been negative about the result. Obviously, it's not a very good result, but it doesn't mean we're out of the running for promotion. I sort of have a bit of a Churchillian feel about it. Like we've lost the battle, but we'll probably still go on and win the war, sort of thing. It's one of those things. It's a game of football we should have won over 90 minutes. Sheffield United weren't really in the game for most of it, I didn't think. That was better second half, admittedly, but the game should have been dead and buried by half time, I thought, with the chances we created. That's the disappointing thing. If we hadn't played well and we lost, you sort of put your hands up and say, right, we lost to the better team on the day, but that wasn't the case on Saturday, and 8 games to go. There's still a lot to play for, 24 points. I don't think it's over by a long chalk.
And Charles, I guess that is the disappointing thing about Saturday's result, is that it's a game where Leeds United were the better side, and it's a few mistakes that cost us really. It's gut-wrenching, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. What stung me the most was the fact that it wasn't the fact that they hadn't put any kind of good play together in leading up to the goal. They hadn't really done anything. They were just launching long balls, counter-attacks, trying to find Sharp on the halfway line. That was all they were kind of trying to do. And then ball runs over to Cooper, he stumbles over it, and Sharp runs in and plays in Basham, and then it's 1-0, and then you're 1-0 down on I think it was 72nd minute they scored, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you're fighting with the hard defensively strong there, you're fighting a bit of a losing battle, and you're really going to struggle to get back into it. Although I think we probably should have done, given even in the second half we had a couple of chances we should have probably put away. The Janssen one comes to mind, which he probably should have been. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt because he had his knee ligaments hanging off at the time. So
yeah,
and he did have to run around in defence visibly in pain for 10 minutes because the Leeds bench refused to take him off, which I think was probably a little bit irresponsible. But it's disappointing the manner we lost the game, because it wasn't like we got battered and then lost 1-0 and you go, remember like Millwall last season where they battered us the entire game but they only scored 1 goal and that goal was offside. But this it was. And then you think, well, they were better, but they weren't the better team.
Yeah, like Kev was saying as well. If we played bad and lost, you hold your hands up and say,
"Of course you do." Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't deserve the 3 points quite clearly.
I think we did everything but score on Saturday. Really, that's the disappointing thing. We hit the post. Obviously, it would work. Janssen, like you said, had a great chance towards the end. If he'd have been a fully fit Janssen, he might have tapped it in, but if he'd have been a fully fit Janssen, he probably wouldn't have been up front anyway, because he was told to go up front to sort of take the pressure off while Phillips sort of filled in for him at the back. But just one of those really frustrating games. At half time you're thinking, right, we should be a couple of goals up maybe, but second half, hopefully we'll go on and win the game. But fair play to Wilder's team. You know, they just stuck in, got a goal. It was laughing to Wilder's comments about Basham actually, because he said he were having a nightmare after about 25 minutes, and he thought we were thinking about taking him off.
For me, he looked the most real threat for them going forward. For me.
Well, that's just a comment that he comes out with now and again, I suppose. He probably sees things that nobody else sees, but maybe we're just saying it because he scored the goal against us as well, just to rub it in a bit more. I don't know, but there's plenty of games to go yet. We've got 4 home games, 4 away. It's the same for everybody at the moment. Obviously, the Bolton situation is going on as well. We don't know what's going to happen there if they go into liquidation, what's going to happen to their points they've got this season. There's a few things that might twist the season round yet. We don't know, but it's been whatever happens, it's been a fantastic season, and you just want some reward at the end of it now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's quite a lot of talking points to go over from the Sheffield United game, so we'll digest it properly. First of all, you know, as we mentioned, Leeds were the better side in the game, missed plenty of chances. When you're missing so many chances as we do, it's kind of. It's not great, is it?
If we had a player who could bury a chance, we'd be 20 points clear by now. I fully believe that. we just can't.
I think that's what makes the transfer deadline a bit more. You know, Wilder brings in a couple of strikers, Hogan and Medine. Obviously, they're not the best strikers around currently at the moment, but they are strikers who could maybe get you an odd goal here and there, and we didn't really do much there, you know, on that side of things, which was disappointing. But it shows you how much faith he has in Roofe and Bamford. I mean, they've been the ones who've been getting the goals for us recently, and if Bamford had been on form on Saturday, he might have had a couple of goals himself, so you know, hopefully he'll come good in the last 8 games.
Yeah,
I think Roofe will probably be back after the... is it Birmingham we play after Millwall?
Yeah, we play Millwall and then the week after it's Birmingham.
I think he'll be back after Birmingham, Roofe. He'll be...
Well, that'll be the Preston game, and he loves scoring against Preston.
He does. Is there a bit of inconsistency at the moment with Leeds? Because you see, you know, we beat West Brom 4-0, batter them. Then we beat Bristol 1-0, only 1-0, and then we go out, win the next game 3-0, and then against Sheffield United can't score, miss a lot of chances. Is this like you want consistency at this stage of the season? At least a bit inconsistent at the moment.
Yeah, I think our performances have been fairly consistent because you know we had 3 clean sheets as well in that little run, and I think Saturday was just a very bad day at the office really, because any other day we'd have battered a team. Like I say, Sheffield United are a very dogged side these days under Chris Wilder, and you know they're on a good run themselves. I think it's 10 games unbeaten for them now.
If we repeat that 4 games thing again, the next 8 games, we'll win 6 and lose 2, and that'll probably take us up.
Yeah.
Well, it will do, yeah. That'll mean, 20 points on top of 93 points altogether. If you can't get promoted to 93, then fair play to sides above you that have been promoted. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I think Cardiff last season, they got promoted in second on 92 points.
Yeah.
If we get 93 points and don't end up going in the top 2.
Well, 92 is the ideal, isn't it? 46 times 2.
Do you remember when we got the record amount of points under Monk to not get the playoffs? 75. Imagine if we got the 2 seasons that we got the record amount of points not to get automatics.
Well, I'm confident anyway, because the press and the media say that if you're on top at Christmas, if you're top of the table, you're going to get promoted by May. It's happened for the last 10 years. Why should it change now?
Hopefully we don't jinx it.
The problem with the perspective of Leeds fans is, like, if we're looking at Norwich and Sheffield United like they are incapable of losing a game or incapable of dropping points.
Yeah.
And we're looking at Leeds like they're definitely going to drop points at some point. And it's just not the case. I don't think, even Norwich, I don't think they're going to win their last 8 games. No. I'd be very surprised if they won every single one of them.
Yeah. They're going to drop points.
And if Sheffield United, frankly, if they play like that against Preston, they'll lose.
And another good case for it as well, because Sheffield United are not used to really being in the top 2. The pressure of being in the top 2. Maybe that could affect the performances coming up now as well.
Yeah. I've apparently, and this is a stat, I'm not sure if this is my boss told me this at work. He's, I don't know if this is true or not. He said every time Sheffield United have been in the top 2, they've lost their next game.
Wow.
Every single time this season.
Well, that's usually a good stat against Leeds. Every time somebody beats Leeds, they don't do as well, apart from Norwich, in the next game. Norwich battered Ipswich 3-0. But
it's all right having a bottom of the league team to play after
exactly, Leeds. Yeah. But usually the next game, they put so much into beating Leeds like QPR did, that the next game they just fall flat because this, it's not as big as game really, I suppose.
Yeah.
For them.
I got someone who worked with Dan at Farsley who's a Sheffield United fan, and he keeps on telling me, you shouldn't throw the towel in yet because Sheffield United ball it. He's so adamant that Sheffield United aren't going to come.
Let's hope he's right. Yeah.
hopefully. So the game on Saturday. I mean, it could have been a different game after 18 minutes. George Baldock, his challenge on Janssen.
Red.
It's a straight red card, isn't it? He loses the ball, it runs away from him, and he lunges in on Janssen, studs up.
Stamps on his shin. Gets away with it.
It could have injured him badly, and the referee pulls out a yellow. It's a straight red.
According to Mr. Courtney on Sky, though, the referee made the right decision.
It's not the right decision.
Dermot Gallagher said the same.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe in it. He studs him up. He's going. It's a leg break.
Yeah, it looked a horrendous challenge at the time. I know Pontus went down really bad. I didn't think he was going to get back up comfortably, really, to be fair.
No, did I? Getting treatment.
It must have affected him for the rest of the game as well, obviously. Yeah, any other referee might have given that. I think even Wilder must admit it was a rash challenge.
Yeah,
and it would have affected the result, I'm sure, at the end of the day as well.
It's not me being biased saying, there should have been 9-10 men and it gives us a better chance. You see challenges like that all the time, and referees always seem to pull out red cards.
He reckons, obviously, it should have been a yellow, and he obviously thought Leeds did well not to sort of defend the sending off of Casilla as well, because he probably would have got another game if it would have appealed it. 2 games instead of 1. So he reckons that was right as well.
Everyone was arguing that, about whether it was 1 or 3, but a professional foul red card, that's 1 game.
Yeah, I didn't really know about this rule.
Violent conduct is 3 games.
It's keepers, isn't it? Keepers get special sort of... if a keeper gets injured in a game, you don't have to walk off the pitch for a minute to come back on. Come back on now before the score. he can stay there, and like a sending off, if it's a professional, if it's a straight red for an outfield player, you get 3 games, don't you? But a keeper, obviously, you got to. Is it violent conduct? Is it a professional foul? Obviously, this was professional foul, 1 game. So.
He didn't endanger Sharp's health either. It was just a foul. It wasn't like it was a dangerous foul.
Although Sharp was endangering everybody else's health by the way he was jumping on him half the game.
Elbowing Janssen as well during the game.
He did. I want an elbow. That were a headbutt. He smashed his head back.
Yeah. Smashed his head back,
which is violent conduct and a red card.
Yeah. I think Sharp got away with a lot of stuff. I
saw someone tweet after the game, which really made me laugh. It's like very nice of Billy Sharp to referee this game.
He was.
He was in the referee's ear all game.
Even when he got booked, he were having a word with him about it as well. Yeah. So
yeah, we'll move on to that Kiko Casilla red card in a bit. Going into second half, 0-0 probably should have been 3-0 up at half time. Roberts, he hit the post, he came really close. What frustrated me about that chance, he hit the post and then just stood still, hands on his head like, I can't believe I've missed.
Yeah, admiring
it. Keep playing on. The ball's still in. If you go challenge, you could maybe win a corner or anything. That's the thing that frustrates me. Players just seem to just stop when they miss a chance. And
I think he did the same as well. When somebody scored against West Brom, he was sort of asking them to pull the ball back, and he didn't. So he went like that on his head while the play was still going on.
Yeah.
Then they end up scoring anyway. So he should concentrate. Yeah. Whilst the move's still progressing, really.
Yeah. Talking about Roberts, when Kemal Roof comes back from his injury, does Kemal Roof replace Tyler Roberts as a number 10?
That's a tough one, that. Because Roof's been out for a month, wasn't he?
Did he come back straight away last time when he was injured? Straight back into the team.
I think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he played in U23s.
I think he did. Yeah, because we played it because Bamford was already out injured by that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, so
he hasn't been injured this season, as Roof, has he?
Yeah,
he was
in September. He was injured.
He missed a few games. Yeah,
and didn't play in 23s.
After was it the Middlesbrough game?
It was when we had to play Roberts up front because Bamford and Roof were injured at the same time. So it was the kind of when we were playing Wednesday. You play Roberts up front.
He missed a good few games early in the season. He missed about 7 games.
Yeah,
at least.
And then obviously Hernandez was injured at the same time, which didn't help.
But it was Roof and Hernandez, wasn't it?
But we were still getting results. So.
Yeah, still getting results. We're winning games. We were getting quite a lot of draws at the time.
Should have won that Wednesday game.
Yeah.
Barry Douglas again missing a header from 4 yards out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he said he learnt his lesson with the Hull game, when he missed another header from about 2 yards out.
Barry Douglas just has.
Well, let's not stop. We're not picking on Barry too much, but
you've had a mare, Barry. You really have. How can you not mark bash him?
Yeah, of course he came on this game, Barry Douglas. Came on for Harrison, 57 minutes. Would that have been the sub that you would have made, though?
No. Simple answer, no.
Yeah.
Would you have kept Alioski at 3 then, yeah?
What, a fullback?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I think Alioski's better as a left back than a left wing.
That's the reason I thought he changed it, though, because they were starting to get around Alioski a little bit. He's brilliant going forward, Alioski. He's brilliant everywhere else on the pitch, but sometimes he's easily beaten, on the left-hand side. Not very often, I admit, because he's so fast and pacey that he gets out of trouble.
Yeah.
But I think he was getting slightly worried that they were getting behind him a little bit, which is why he made the change. I mean, who are we to disagree with Mr. Bielsa? But I think that's the reason why he did it. But yeah, maybe he could have tweaked it a bit more. I mean, he's always bringing Dallas on as well.
Yeah, and Dallas didn't really have.
And Dallas ain't going to change a game.
No.
He's going to tighten things up maybe a bit, but he ain't going to, he isn't going to do a Pablo sort of pass or a Pablo sort of goal.
He's not really going to change a game.
No. So I thought Ayling actually was having a decent game myself.
I'd have brought Jamie Shackleton and Jack Clark on at the same time and gone for it.
Jamie's got a lot of pace and he might have worried him a little bit more.
I thought Click had a poor game anyway, he didn't really do much.
Yeah, I want to see more of Jamie Shackleton. Because I like, when he came on against West Brom, got that assist, and he's only played a minute.
And he got the great assist at Reading that Bamford missed as well. But he is it's sort of player that you'd like to bring on with 15, 20 minutes ago, because defenders are scared of his running.
Swansea in August as well, when he got that for Roof's goal.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was his first sort of contribution in the league.
That was when Janssen was out injured with a back injury, and then in the warm up, Cooper got injured for the game.
And Jamie says you're on. You're on, Jamie. Yeah. You're making your full debut. So he's got. I think he's got potential. I mean, I'm saying this now to be as good as Lewis Cook. I think Jamie Shackleton. He's got that skill in his abilities that he could be a big player.
I don't think he's as good defensively as he is going forward. And
what is his actual position though? Is he a midfielder?
He's a centre midfielder.
Yeah, he's not a full back.
He's a proper centre midfielder, not a defensive midfielder.
Yeah. I guess with these youngsters, you can experiment with their positions. Really.
I just think he's not big enough or strong, well built enough to defend as well as he could do. Like he's not. He's definitely not Janssen's build, but he's not he's not even Cooper's build, is he? Because
he's just got his pace to get out of trouble, hasn't he?
Yeah, because he's a small lad and he's not winning a lot in the air, so he'd be good in the click position. But
in a way, I can see why he did the Douglas substitution for Harrison, but I just can't quite understand why Dallas was brought on for Ayling. That's the only thing that I queried, really. Clark was a good substitution, maybe brought on a bit too late in the game, and it was his first sort of proper game back in the first team after his injury, illness. So it was asking a lot for him to change the game, but he did it at Villa, didn't he, quite easily. So maybe he was hoping for a bit of that again.
Yeah, of course, Jack Clark, we did see him. I thought he did all right when he came on. I probably would have brought him on earlier. I think if you are going to take Harrison off on 57 minutes, you bring on Jack Clark. Keep Alioski at left back, because I just feel as though that is his. I think going forward,
he's made that position. I don't even know if it's a left back role. He's just made that whatever position it is, he's making it his own. Because he
just plays on the left.
I think he's been outstanding last few games. He's taken a lot. He took a lot of stick early part of the season, but he's played nearly every single game that Bielsa's managed the club, so he obviously rates him. And even when the Reading incident, when he did that dive, and everybody said, he shouldn't play in the Leeds shirt again, and all this nonsense, or drop him and all this business. But Bielsa loves the guy, and you can see why, because his work rate is just superb. I just felt he just. When he went further forward on Saturday, I just felt as though he wanted the same players he was at left back. Yeah, and that corner at the end, it was screaming for a. Janssen was up from
Hernandez to be on it.
I think Douglas might have redeemed himself if he took the corner and did similar to one that he did at Stoke.
I honestly do not understand why Alioski does on set pieces. He has proven time and time again that his final ball is wayward at best.
It just went over everybody's head, and that was it, really. That was our last real opportunity to get an equaliser. And everybody was in the box waiting for a great delivery, and it just didn't come.
They must have it set, you're taking corners on this side of the pitch, and that's it. Because I remember I was at Blackburn away early on in the season, and 2-1 down. Kept on getting corners, and Pontus Jansson screaming at Pablo, saying, "You get on that corner."
Well, you know why? Because Pablo Jansson got a great winning goal at Blackburn the other season when Pablo just delivered it right on his head.
Yeah,
and he was probably asking for the same again.
It's because I think it was because Bielsa wanted an in-swinger for the corner, because obviously if Pablo had taken the corner on that side, it'd have been an outswing because Pablo's right-footed, whereas Alioski's left-footed, so it would have swung inwards. So I think his mindset is probably it's more likely it'll reach somebody if it's in swinging, than if it's out swinging. But
for me, Pablo should be on every set piece.
I'd love, I agree. I love what to been on the pitch at the end though when Alioski and Pablo were having that heated discussion about something. Pablo was pointing all over the place. He was really annoyed that he'd lost that game, because he was the star man for me, because he created so many chances, and they were having a heated debate maybe about the corner at the end. I don't know, why didn't you let me take it, or why didn't Douglas take it. Pablo was really, really annoyed after that game, just as all the most 35,000 Leeds fans that were there that day, I think, because it was a frustrating game.
Pablo was shouting at Alioski anyway, because
I think he just does.
Earlier in the game, Alioski had given away a corner, and rather than coming back into the box to mark people or standing, we always do the one-man wall for no reason because it never works. But instead of coming back to the box, he just started arguing with the lino for no reason. As if the liner's going to go, actually, mate, yeah, you're right, that's a goal kick. So he's not going to happen. There's no point. So Pablo just comes up and just starts shouting in his face.
Is that Alioski that was arguing?
Yeah, just get in the box.
That's another thing about him, though. Have you noticed during the game, he does argue with the linesman. He argues with somebody taking the throw-in. He's one of those guys that just gets up your nose, I think.
Yeah, Alioski must just frustrate not only his teammates but the opposition as well.
Well, he can do that bit of magic, or score a goal, and you think, wow, you just.
Yeah. I think he's getting it from when he keeps on biting Pablo in the stomach. You ever see those pictures where Alioski's just got his teeth into Pablo's?
He bit the ball on Saturday. Have you noticed that when he was about to take the corner, he bit the ball?
Don't know what it is.
He's a weird guy.
Weird superstitions.
It must be something that happens in Macedonia. I don't know.
Weird superstitions.
Ball biters.
Let's move on to the goal then. On 71 minutes, Basham scoring here. Cooper
dawdling,
just not good enough against Billy Sharp, was he? Just got out muscled. He got a second chance though. Like the ball dropped. I felt as though he should have just gone in, got the challenge in. If you get yourself sent off, at least you haven't conceded a goal. I just thought poor overall defending.
If he'd have fouled him there, he'd have been sent off. He was last man.
Yeah. But just poor defending overall for this goal.
He had a couple of chances to clear it, like you say. He should have just done a rose head job on it, really. But obviously, that's not the Leeds way at the moment. No. Trying to play out of his way of a defence, not a good thing for Cooper to do. Cause
it was kind of like Ayling had passed it back to Cooper, but while Cooper was already running, and he kind of Ayling also overhit the pass. So he kind of just tripped over the ball while they were running towards it.
I think the conditions were pretty. There were a few dodgy passes going on in the first half when Ayling put his foot towards the ball and went under his foot for a throw-in from Cooper. And Cooper did a few bad ones as well, the other side. The pitch, when he looked at the corner of the pitch, the water was sort of jumping up a lot. Because somebody said that the game, if it had been slightly worse, it might have even been called off. So I think the conditions weren't brilliant for the sort of football Bielsa likes to play, and we still attempted it, and that was our downfall with the Cooper thing, really. I think he had a couple of chances to clear it. Sharper was at his throat. He was scared that he was going to nip past him, and unfortunately Basham came in totally unmarked, had an empty net. Maybe Kiko came up too quickly.
Did he have to come out? Did he have to come out there?
I don't think so.
There's plenty of defenders.
I think he's been told to come out to sweep up a little bit.
For the
goal,
yeah.
I thought he came out too soon.
Yeah,
for me,
so did I.
I thought he gave.
Because Basham
he gave Basham too much of the goal.
Yeah, like Basham had barely got to the edge of the D, and Kiko Ksir's coming way out.
Yeah, he did that early though, when he headed the ball out as well. I think it's just the thing I think we're getting bored because he had no shots to save basically. So he wanted to do something.
I don't think that. I think once you're in that position though, I don't think anything's stopping that goal, because I think if Ksir doesn't come out and Cooper gets over to Basham, then Basham just passes it back to Sharp, and Sharp finishes it. So.
It was just a split-second thing, Cooper makes a mistake, Kiko's out of his goal, Basham's free. All happened in seconds, didn't it? And everything just fell for Sheffield United, took the ball away. Unfortunately, we didn't get one chance like that, easier chance like that in the game. Ours were a bit more difficult to sort of finish.
Because they have a really good defence.
Well, they do. Yeah, they were so deep.
7 clean sheets.
The whole game they were playing so deep.
Yeah.
And because of the way they play 3-5-2, so they pack the midfield full of players.
Yeah. Basham, though, the guy who scored, usually a centre back. Usually plays defence, been playing further forward a bit for Sheffield United. He looked their most dangerous player.
Well, Craney's the same. He's a centre-back, and he's been playing wing as well. He were on loan at Leeds at one time, and we just sort of dismissed him. But look at Wilder's turned him into a decent footballer. But he seems to do that with his players. He puts them in unusual positions, and it's been working for him all season.
Yeah, it's a poor goal to concede. Meanwhile, Pontus Jansson, he quite clearly hurt his knee. But he also, after the game, was saying, we didn't really know what it was about.
We don't know upon us, don't we?
But he was holding his knee. It's clearly
there's the song, he hit me with the brick and he's all right. But he was going down every sort of 10 minutes when in that game.
But he hurt his knee, though.
Yeah. But like you say, you don't know upon us, though. He could be hurting his knee, and next minute he's going up front and, scoring a worldie header.
Well, he made that kind of last-ditch tackle on Sharp, didn't he? Where he did get the ball and it ran to Castillo and he picked it up. But as he made the challenge, he smashed it. If you watch it slowly, smashes his knee into the floor.
Yeah.
And you can see he's visibly in pain immediately.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they did the right thing. They just told him to go up front, just do what he can there.
Do you not think we should tuck him off?
Well, we had no subs, did we?
Yeah, we had no subs, but I'd rather play... Because at the beginning, he was still playing defence, and I'd rather play with 10 fitmen, because Pontus at the back looked like a liability for me.
Yeah, but he put Phillips there, told him to go up front, and then he had that great chance to score.
Yeah,
so it might have worked.
Yeah.
But
and then, of course, it did work out in the end, because Casilla went and got sent off Pontus winning goal. Only Pontus Jansson can play as a centre-back striker, and in goal in one game,
He got quite fortunate, actually.
Yeah.
Because they had that free kick from the sending off, and he's in goal, and of course all the Leeds players are lining up in a massive wall to try and stop this free kick getting over.
Otherwise, it's going to be a goal.
And it clears the wall, but Pablo, I think, just about gets a foot on it while it's mid-air, and stops it. Because if it runs through, that's probably a goal.
Yeah.
Jansson's not a goalkeeper.
Have you seen the pictures of the wall setting up for that free kick? They're asking Pontus, how do you want to set it up? Pontus is like, I ain't got a clue.
How do I know? Just don't let him get. Don't go past the wall. That's all I'm asking.
It's like you've got to be 10. You've got to be 10 yards away. It doesn't say how many of you can go in the wall. There's no rules on that. Just line up.
I know. Just do your job.
All 10 of you stand in a big, massive wall.
Very first-time player, Pontus. We just need Team Pontus Janssons. He kept a clean sheet when he was in goal, almost scored. Just need Team Pontus Janssons. Just clone him, and just get a Team Pontus Janssons.
There was quite a good moment when Sharp was closing him down, and he just sidestepped him and passed it straight back to Cooper.
Yeah.
To get immortality as a Leeds player, though, you got to have played in goal like Radaby did at Old Trafford when he kept a clean sheet. They were 1-0 down anyway, and he kept a clean sheet. Yeah. Pontus has joined that list now, I think.
Happens too often at Leeds. It happened with Belushki a few years ago against Rotherham, didn't it?
Yeah.
Happens too often at Leeds, getting outfield players in goal.
What did you call him? Belushki?
Belushki.
It's not Belushki, is it?
Belushki. Giuseppe Belushki. Who cares?
He gave away the penalty, didn't he, at Rotherham?
Yeah, he tried to overhead kick it.
Then he
to clear
says,
it.
all right, I gave away the penalty. I've got our keeper sent off. I'll go in goal now and try and save the penalty.
No, it was the ball went over the top. He overhead kicked it to try and clear it.
He tried to do a scissor kick, didn't he?
Silvestri had to come out.
He's still not the worst player I've ever seen play for Leeds.
No, there's plenty.
I mean, remember his free kicks.
Scott Wotton is the worst player I've ever seen live play for Leeds.
It's a big list, to be fair.
He was actually the worst footballer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
there is a big
Watford are bringing back memories of that, aren't they? When that cup game when he got that own goal.
Don't say Watford.
Yeah, I know. Watford and Preston, when the ball should have gone out of play, he decides to keep it in the last minute. Guy comes, nicks it off him, and they equalise 1-1.
I don't think he can pinpoint the worst place to play for Leeds because there's so many over the past few years.
I've got a big list in my back pocket, but I won't embarrass everybody.
Red card then, Casilla. Did he have to make the challenge?
Yeah.
He were instinct on it. He were outside his box. He just thought, what do I do?
I mean, Sharp somewhat arrogantly said, if he I'd have scored it, but I think he would have scored it. And if we're already losing, and we don't want to lose any more goal difference ground on him, then we can survive for one game with Peacock fouling goals. Not a major letdown.
I'm sure Peacock can do a decent job for one game.
I'm sure. I hope he's firing up and ready and
take his chance.
This is my chance. I'm gonna try and get in front of this Kiko Casilla. But yeah, for me, you have to make the challenge. Billy Sharp's coming out and.
Billy says a lot of things when it comes to Leeds games. So I think he should look at himself sometimes and just say, take a deep breath and think, well, I don't need to say that.
Yeah.
Donny midget.
But when he made the challenge, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a red card. But do you think it was a red card because it was covering defenders?
I think it was a yellow But
I haven't seen
a bit
it back,
biased.
to be honest. I knew there were 2 players behind him, but I don't know how far back they were. Or
Coop and Phillips running, but
where was where was that great defending that we usually have with 8 men covering a player? It wasn't happening in that particular incident, was it?
I don't think the referee even paid attention to the defenders. I think as soon as he saw...
He was quick to get his card out, wasn't he?
Goalkeeper, tackle the striker, right.
He didn't hesitate, did he?
No, the referee was poor this game. Really poor. All the officials were poor. There was some point where they were giving throw-ins to the other team, even though it clearly went off.
Like, yeah, me and him
were
watching the linos and where the ball was going out, because we're pretty in line with like the right-hand side of the pitch, and every time it went out for Sheffield United throwing, Leeds got a throw-in, and every time out for Leeds throwing, Sheffield United got a throw-in.
Well, why does the linesman wait for the referee to make a decision sometimes when he's closer to the inside? He's like this with his flag. It's the throw-in to you.
And it's literally his job.
It's ridiculous. There was this one point in the first half where I think we booted it to try keep it in play to stop it going out for a goal kick. Hit a Sheffield United player on the head and went out clearly for a corner. The linesman gave a corner, but the referee gave a goal kick. And then he was like, "Oh no, it's a corner."
Jansen's screaming at him.
No, it were reverse. It was going out for ours. And referee gave it as a Sheffield United corner when it was blatantly Leeds goal kick.
And Jansen was screaming his head off at him, thinking, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, it was bizarre. The officials were so poor.
He got loads of abuse to the referee from the Leeds fans.
Yeah, that's the first time he's refereed a Leeds game this season, so hopefully that'll be the last.
Hopefully it is the last, but yeah, of course, Sheffield United held on to win 1-0. They've now gone above us in second and above us by 1 point. Win third. Still 8 games left, but it's going to be a long, hard slog, isn't it?
It always is.
8 games, yeah. A lot of people saying that the 8 games could be a lot worse than what they are.
They could.
Yeah, they could.
We could be playing Norwich, Sheffield United, but we're not.
I mean, we've got a few tough away games, but majority of them are at home. And
let's face it, I think it's not in our own hands now, obviously, points-wise, but the games we've got, if we can't manage to get enough points out of those to get promoted, then we don't deserve to get automatic. We'll have to settle for the dreaded playoffs.
Not again.
I hate to say it, there's a klaxon going off now because I've said playoffs. But yeah, it's not a Leeds thing, is it, playoffs?
My mate's a Donny fan, whenever he brings up the Donny playoff final, and he lost 1-0. My dad went to that game.
I remember driving home on the motorway with Doncaster fans going past us. Yeah, it wasn't a very nice experience.
I'll tell you what was awful. You see, on Saturday, I've just witnessed Sheffield United beat us. I'm just like so down. It's chucking it down as well. I'm like, this is just depressing. Yeah, and then on Sky, they played the Watford 3, Leeds United 0 in the playoff final a few years ago. Played that as a replay on the evening.
That is rubbing it in, isn't it?
I was watching rugby, and then after it came on, and I was like, nice, great.
Great Saturday all round then.
Well, it's Sky Office probably had a bloody party when we lost that game.
Yeah.
Champagne flying all around.
But still, a lot can happen during these 8 games. I think if we get 6 wins out of the last 8, we should be.
Yeah, some people are saying it's great to have a game straight away after this defeat, but I think it's nice now to sort of sit back a little bit now, get some players fit again for the 30th of March, and go into the last 8 games thinking it's an 8-game season now where we've got to get as many points as we can. It's still in our hands if we make it in our hands, because we've got some beatable teams that we can get good points from.
Yeah. Remember, though, last time we lost before an international break, we came back and won 7 games in a row.
Yeah, West Brom.
Hopefully we can see a repeat of that.
7 games in a row, we'll probably do it. So
yeah, should do.
You never know with Leeds, do you? Then we'll go and lose at Ipswich.
It's going to be interesting.
Oh God, don't say that.
It's going to be interesting though. Right now, at the time of talking, I'd say we've got a top 3 finish nailed on. But if Bolton go out and they're not a club anymore by the end of today,
if they get liquidised,
and then West Brom go within 3 points from us, they go 3 points behind us.
They've not done that whole liquidation. Remove everyone's points thing since 1992 with Aldershot. So it's been a long time.
I think it's a tall order for that to happen, I suppose. But
it's weird because we're Farsley Celtic as well. Their league North Fairy went out of business at the weekend, and that's all changed and really annoyed everyone. So
shame about North Ferriby. Yeah, a decent little club there. So
87 years or something.
It's a shame nobody could help them out. Really, all the money in football these days, and a team like that goes out of business. So it's a shame.
And then Bolton as well. If they're not a club anymore, that's going to be weird.
I think they'll just get docked points personally.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think it's Birmingham as well.
Birmingham, they've got a 12-point deduction.
They could be involved in a relegation battle. So.
Very, very, very funny.
12-point deduction. They're Gary Monk.
If this is finally the time the EFL's finally go, all right, you breached financial fair play. We told you were specifically not allowed to sign anybody, and you signed that Peterson left back.
No.
Yeah. They've had a busy.
Monk knew what was going on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Signed him anyway.
They've had a busy season. I've had a busy season, but still a positive season for Leeds, though. Now, earlier on today, I caught up with a former Leeds United player, Ben Parker, and he was just telling me how impressed he's been with Leeds United this season.
Unbelievable. I think start of the season, I'm probably in the boat same with everyone else, just like don't know what to make of the season, where we'll come, couldn't give you a prediction where we'll finish, but it's been a breath of fresh air, hasn't it? Loved every second of it. Even the moments when we haven't played too well, got a few bad results, but it's been few and far between. Just the way created an atmosphere around the club. It's just not the 11 players or how many play on a Saturday afternoon. It's the feel around the place, the fans are bought into everything, created a culture, and I've loved every second. And
Bielsa, of course, came in at the start of the season. A few raised eyebrows, not many people knowing much about him, but he seems to have had a massive impact at Leeds United, clearly. Do your opinions on him differ now from what you thought of him at the start of the season?
I still think he's a genius. The big thing when he got appointed, because I'm not going to lie, I didn't really know too much about him, but then when you hear his name, you obviously do the research, and then the people like Guardiola come out and speak highly of him, Pochettino speak highly of him. That's when you start to take notice, because these are managers, these are figures in football who are like top of the game, world-class coaches in their own right. So for them to speak about Bielsa, how they did do, that's when you start to take a bit more notice in the person himself, and then say do the research. When people treat him like a god in Chile for what he did for their national team, for what he's got a stadium named after him back home as well. So yeah, coming to the season, coming to pre-season especially, hearing how hard the training sessions is, you're thinking, right, it'll be interesting to start off, but the start to the season was great, and it's just snowballed from that, really.
Yeah, and we're going into an international break now, the last international break of the season. Not going into it probably the way we wanted it to. 1-0 loss to Sheffield United at home last Saturday. Is this international break coming at the best time, do you think, though?
Perfect time. I'm always been a big believer is when you do lose a game, to have one so quick just so you can bounce back and get out your system. But on this occasion, I just feel the performance I think were great against Sheffield United. The only thing we didn't do was put the ball in the back of the net. But the chances were there, we're getting to the right positions, we played some good football at times in pretty bad conditions also. And I think, yeah, be disappointed about it, but look at the positives. We're still a point behind automatic places. 2-week gap now in the international break, so the likes of the people who are injured, Janssen picked up an injury, Roof's injured, Forshaw's injured, but these three people with another 2 weeks, they might get back a little bit quicker. So it's all positive. It's easy to kind of look at the game and think, yeah, we missed a big opportunity, but there's 8 big games still to go.
Yeah, and what do you think players will be doing during this international break to try and bounce back from a defeat against Millwall?
Well, back in my day, a lot have probably gone on holiday, but now I think they've got a couple of days off. So I think that's good. It's more kind of your mental state. Just have like a little mental break, because fitness-wise, they're the fittest team by a mile in the league. The amount of kind of work that goes into the diet, the nutrition, it's beyond anything I've ever seen. It's probably one of the best in the country, including the Premier League, what they're doing with that kind of aspect. So that's not a problem. But having these few days off, just a little mental break, it does recharge the batteries, spend some time with the families. So when they come back into training, they'll be training. I think they're back in on Thursday, so there are a few sessions there, and then it's all about next week. Like this week's kind of a token gesture. Yeah, it's just about ticking over. They'll probably do some video kind of work as well. Analyse the game from Saturday, maybe look a little bit at Millwall also, but it's next week, especially when the international players come back, that's when you start zoning in, tuning in, you'll find details and then build towards Millwall.
And as you mentioned, 8 games remaining of the season, plenty of stuff could happen, but the fans, the Leeds United fans, of course, you're part of the side that got promoted from League One. How big of a difference do the fans make, especially when a team's trying to achieve something like promotion?
Look, like what gets said about Leeds fans is everything's right. They're the best fan base going. The support they give the boys, the noise they can create. And I'm not being biased because I'm a Leeds fan and I've played for the club, but I've generally never seen it at other clubs at all. And they do have a massive part. I think sometimes they don't realise how important they actually are. Yes, they know they're a good support. They know they're vocal, but it's these games now, these last 8 games, where that can make a difference. And I'm not saying the players need an extra like motivation, because they don't whatsoever. But when you've got players who are fully motivated, on top of an atmosphere and a crowd and the support that Leeds fans can create, it just creates a special bond, and it creates a mentality which teams kind of find hard to play against at times.
Yeah, and I'll put you on the spot here. Are Leeds United going to do it?
Yeah, 100%. And I've said this. The moment that I said I think we'll get promoted was the Aston Villa game away. We scored the last kind of kick of the game, and also Blackburn at home, last kick of the game. And these are kind of moments you look back in the season and give you a feeling like it is our year. For some reason, that's saying we'll be able to coming through the door, create a special atmosphere, create a special bond throughout the club, and then moments make you believe. So I'm still a believer.
Ben Parker there.
He did say believer, not Justin Bieber fan.
He said I'm a believer.
Believer, right.
I'm a believer, like the Monkeys song.
I'm a believer.
Yeah.
Good lad, Ben Parker.
He's a good lad. He's a nice lad, very sound, yeah.
Does a lot of stuff at LUTV now. Good player for us in League One.
Yeah, he did a good job. He started our season off with that pass to Beckford against Exeter, first home game of the season. Slid Jermaine in for a goal. Yeah. Then was injured for about 6 months, but never mind.
Yeah, it said quite a bit of interesting stuff there. One about the fans, saying that they play a big part, and they must do. I mean, quite a lot of players say, you just zone it out. You just zone it out, but the fans do play a big part.
I think, yeah, it's like the Reading did during the week. They're the 13th man. I always thought they were the 12th man, but they're down at number 13 on their team sheet. but yeah, obviously you can't compare Leeds fans to Reading fans, obviously, because it's a total breed, but it's a different breed. But yeah, amazing. All the games this season at Elland Road have been amazing atmospheres. It's because there's an expectancy there that the fans want Premier League football again, and you can tell now as soon as the games come up online, they get sold out within the day. So the hunger is there from the Leeds fans. It always has been there, but they have the team now and the coach to make that hunger, even more unbearable sometimes, because you just want that success at the end of the season.
There's so much anxiety and kind of anticipation with Leeds fans, because I would argue for the size of the club, no club, not even Blackpool or Portsmouth, have suffered as much as Leeds fans have in the Football League, because we just haven't. We are the third biggest city in the UK with only one football club, and we're not in the top 20 clubs of our own country.
Yeah,
it's sad.
A bit weird, isn't it?
It is weird, and it needs remedying in the next 8 games.
Yeah. Hopefully we can do it, and the fans are going to play a big part. So get down to Elland Road if you can get tickets. It's very hard nowadays.
Beg, steal or borrow a ticket to get down, please.
Do it. Well, let's try and cheer ourselves up from that. From talking about Sheffield United loss to having a look at the under-23s. They were in action last Thursday night at Nevermore Park in Guiseley. They faced Fulham in the Premier League Cup, drew 2-2. Then the game ended up going to penalties, and we won. A Leeds United side winning on penalties
with 10 men as well.
Yeah. It was quite an even game first half. We went in 1-0 up, and it looked like we got a bit fortunate. Not with the goal, but just because we weren't playing that well. It was very even, and then we scored, and we thought, all right, well, we'll kick on now. And then there was that really weird moment where I think it's Harrison Mailer was in goal for it. And he basically just deliberately fouled their striker when he was about to score. And you think in that scenario, you made a massive mistake, but let him score, we'll score another one. Instead, he just legs him up and gets sent off. And then they score the resulting penalty.
When people saw the team sheet during the week, they thought there were people were going a bit gender crazy by saying, who's in goal for Leeds? Oh, male. You mean not female? No, it's a male. All this gender stuff going on at the moment. Well, no, that is actually his name.
I bet Harrison Mailer is so sick of people making fun of his name.
Who was that guy? They had a Sessignon playing from, didn't they, Fulham? It wasn't Ryan.
Ryan's younger brother.
Yeah. Gonna say. Fulham obviously they're a Premier League outfit now, and obviously they've got Premier League, players, maybe you could say. So their 123 squad was fairly strong. Yeah. So to get a result when Mail was sent off and the sub keeper had to come on for the last 40 minutes of the game, to actually go on and then take it to extra time, it was a great achievement.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the character of the players, doesn't it? You know, to go down with 10 men and still dig through, be like, oh, yeah, we can get a result and go through here.
I saw a few Fulham fans kind of moaning that there were so many Leeds players, like senior Leeds players in the lineup, and I only saw Berardi and Izzy Brown in there.
Yeah, and Izzy's hardly played for us this season.
Izzy Brown doesn't really technically count as a senior sign. He's more been like kind of star man for the under-23s.
Well, you are allowed a certain amount of over-23s in your team,
it's
aren't
3,
you?
I think.
Yeah, so we won't break in any rules, I don't think, unless the EFL have spotted something there.
But the thing is, Izzy Brown's 22, so he doesn't even count as a player over 23.
No, exactly.
Harrison Mayle, the goalkeeper, sent off. What is it with Leeds United goalkeepers getting sent off in the games?
It happened twice in about 4 days.
Yeah, no.
Weird.
Yeah, weird.
He rugby tackled the guy, didn't he? So he had to go off, really, I suppose.
Unless you're Jordan Pickford, you get sent off for that.
Yeah.
Berardi, of course, scoring the winning penalty. Great to see him back, Berardi.
Well, he might be back sooner than what he thinks in the first team now as well.
Yeah, do you think now Janssen, of course, out for 3 weeks, probably back for the Birmingham game, hopefully.
He'll miss Millwall.
I mean, no Rob Price. He'll probably back for Millwall.
I've heard he's missing Millwall and Birmingham, but like you said, with Rob Price, you don't know if he'll work wonders again on him. But why not revert to the team that we had at the start of the season? You know, when Berardi was doing a fantastic job until he got injured.
Is that who you? I mean, there's a few options. I think
there's
a lot of people saying Ayling would go into centre back and Dallas at right back, or Shackleton at right back. You could also
there's a few options.
You could also just put Phillips in
Halmer.
there. I don't think Halmer will go in. I think that's one that
as long as somebody comes in who can mark Steve Morrison for 90 minutes, I'm not really bothered.
But would it be Berardi for you? I think it'd be a mistake not playing Berardi against Millwall.
Reminds me, did everyone see Millwall get knocked out of the cup on St Patrick's Day?
I had mixed feelings about it. Do I want them to get through and be on a bit of a high when they play us because they've got a semi-final a week after, or do that I want them playing when they've been knocked out and they're really down there? And what sort of feeling?
They did get a player sent off for violent conduct, unsurprisingly, because it's Millwall.
Ferguson,
yeah. So he's now banned for that Leeds United game. But is that the option for you? To centre back Berardi goes in.
I don't know if Berardi's had enough first team match game to come straight back into it, really. So
he's been gone a long time.
Yeah,
Ayling could be an option to go there, and maybe Shaq or Dallas to fill in.
I hope it's not Dallas.
I'd like to see Berardi back. I mean, I
think everybody would love to see him back. Yeah, but
Millwall's
the sort of game where
you'd want
Berardi's been sent off.
Berardi, you want Berardi in that Millwall
game. Punch Morrison.
I mean, I don't believe anyone who punches Steve Morrison. Not advocating violence once again. Don't do a Birmingham.
Referee will go up to me and think, he's going to get a red card here. Referee will shake his hand. Thanks for doing that. I've been wanting to do that for the whole game.
I mean, Steve Morrison has almost entirely grey hair. I mean, how is he still playing football?
Yeah. He had short grey hair when he played for us,
Yeah. Remember that chant, Steve Morrison? I don't know why we sang his name. He was terrible. Remember that shot against Forest where he went out for a throw-in?
I mean, Bamford had one against Fully Ready that went out for a throw-in. So
well, I remember his winning goal at Sheffield Wednesday, so I'll keep that nice feeling about Morrison. I think.
Yeah, keep that feeling. But yeah, for me, Berardi, if you don't play him centre back against Millwall, there's a mistake there because he's going to be so fired up for
the
Millwall
thing is,
game.
he has got a few options anyway. I mean, Janssen will be a big miss.
It's nice to have a few options as well because I've been short of options over recent months.
I mean, I don't know if Fit Roof will be by Millwall either, but hopefully
I don't think
he won't be far away. He won't be far away.
Touched on Izzy Brown, of course, scored in this game on last Thursday, but we haven't really seen him come off the bench too often.
Reading was a great opportunity to bring him on for about 20 minutes.
I mean, even against Sheffield United,
they didn't go for it.
Yeah. And Sheffield United as well. You know, we're trailing the game.
Well,
any attacker that you bring
he was
on.
missing, to be fair, on Saturday when he had a stomach bug Saturday because Clark came back into it. But I can't understand really why he hasn't. Apart from the QPR game, which was a bad memory because he got booked and could have been sent off, and he stood in front of somebody who had a shot on goal and it went for a goal kick. Yeah. So he had a bit of a mare for those 10 minutes. But I think a fully fit Izzy Brown would be a brilliant asset.
Like the same Izzy Brown from Huddersfield would have been great. He just doesn't seem to be.
He's not the same player anymore.
Like, he's scoring for the U23s, but a lot of things about his commitment and his running that he does in the game. He's just not really Bielsa's kind of player. Really, it's a bit unfortunate because wasted all this time. The medical team getting him back, Izzy Brown in the U23s, and paying his wages. It just all seems to go to waste. Really, it's disappointing.
I don't know. I mean, Chelsea were paying his wages for most of the season, weren't they? But obviously, recently we've had to chip in here and there. But I don't know. It's a bit of an odd thing, really. I think it was brought in because we knew Saiz may not be here by Christmas, and he was going to be fit by Christmas and maybe fit into his shoes, but it didn't work out that way. I don't know. Hopefully he'll come on against Ipswich, bag the winning goal, and we get promoted.
Hopefully.
I mean, that would be the most ideal kind of... if that was all he achieved in an entire 12-month loan spell,
that'd be worth it.
That'd be worth
Be
it.
remembered.
That'd be worth every single minute of hard
Yeah.
work. But that's the U23s then. Awesome win for them last week. They just keep on impressing, so I hope they...
great season.
Yeah, I hope they carry on doing what they do. Let's talk about England then. Now, shall we? Because no Leeds game this Saturday. We've got a podcast next week, so we need to talk about the Millwall game there. We don't want to talk about it now.
Yeah.
There's nothing to talk about next week.
Czech Republic in it Friday, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, before this morning, I was like, who on earth are England playing? Because I didn't have a clue. But this Friday, it's the Czech Republic at home, and then on Monday, it's Montenegro away. But Ben Parker, I asked him about the international break, are we getting it at perfect time? And he said yes. Are we? Do you think the international break is coming up?
You look at it two ways, don't you? I mean, the QPR game, we had West Brom straight away, murdered them 4-0. Fantastic result. Obviously, it would have been nice to meet somebody midweek where we could do that again, but sometimes you've got to sit back and think, there's only 8 games left now. Let's sit back a little bit, get the players ready for the last 8 games of the season, get them fit, have a think about what season we've had so far, what it means to everybody if we do get promoted. Just have a bit of feedback time now, maybe, and go into the Millwall game fired up and ready to win it. So I think it's looking at it with 8 games to go. I think it's come at a good time, really.
Just to make this slightly more Leeds related, Patrick Bamford has turned down the opportunity to play for Ireland in this international break, so we can focus on Leeds. And he says he'll have a chat with Mick McCarthy at the end of the season.
Yeah,
good chap. Good decision.
Patrick O'Bamford, yeah, very good of him to do that.
the most Tory Irishman of all time.
But yeah, so this international break, I think that, when you go just lost a game, you want to get back out there straight away, maybe for Tuesday night, and then try and, correct it. But if you win, you want to carry on. So it's kind of like either way. But I think with the injuries that we've got, Janssen being injured, Kemal Roof not going to be back for like another 3 weeks. I think that is the reason why this is a perfect international break, because we don't have to go a few games without Pontus Janssen. He's going to be back. We're probably going to miss 1 or 2 games with him maximum.
I don't see any more than 2 games him being gone. And yeah, it gives Roof an extra couple of weeks just to get back into it, because obviously he's got his leg brace off last week, and he'll be getting close to full fitness.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a good time. Yeah,
I think Forshaw might be dead. I'm not sure what's happened there.
Forshaw, I think he's disappeared on this somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird because he also said he was going to be a doubt for the next game. A few weeks ago, he said, he's going to be a doubt for the next game. He said he's going to be out for maybe 2 days. Then it went to, he's going to be out for the next 2 games, and then it kept on progressing.
I can't even remember the last game he played now. It seems such a long time ago.
I think it was Norwich, wasn't it?
Was it 3-1 game? Yeah.
And what a performance that was.
When he should have picked Phillips, yeah.
But the entire game was crying out for Calvin Phillips in that midfield.
But I wonder what's happened to Forshaw. His injury must have just must have been, he's going to be back soon, but then it's just got worse.
I think it's more of a quandary if he is fit. I mean, what's he going to do? Drop Phillips again and put him back in?
You can't drop Phillips.
I don't know.
Unless for the next game you put Phillips at centre back and then Forshaw.
I think Bielsa's pretending he's injured, so he don't have to make that decision.
I would genuinely rather have Calvin Phillips in a wheelchair than on the field.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adam, if you're listening.
Yeah, sorry. And if you want to come on the podcast, we will obviously love to have you.
You're not a defensive midfielder.
Charles,
I'll pencil you in. Yeah.
Charles, you're ruining it for us. You're ruining it. But yeah, back onto the international break then. England. Do you guys care first of all about England games? Or?
Really.
I mean, if there's one away game you want to go to, it's Montenegro. What a night out that'll be. But other than that, not really.
Did the World Cup and the recent Cup success not make you more interested in England? Or?
Yeah, you want them to do well, obviously, but
not in the friendlies.
Is
it a friendly or is it qualifier?
These 2 games coming up are Euro 2020 qualifiers.
All right.
Wales are playing Trinidad and Tobago in a friendly, so
I mean, right now we're.
What a country!
They're playing 2 teams.
I wonder what the most famous Trinidadian and Tobagoan player there is. If that's the way you pronounce that.
I don't think most people are too bothered because they know they're going to qualify anyway. Really, don't they? England, they always qualify.
What I really want to know is, the cup games that we were playing back end of last year.
Yeah,
what were those for? Because
they're
going to be Euro 2020 qualifiers.
They're going to be in June, aren't they?
Yeah,
I'm looking forward. Portugal. I'm looking forward to seeing Jadon Sancho playing, and that's about it.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on the World Cup last year? Then, I mean,
amazing.
Yeah, incredible. But is it kind of like see a bit with Leeds because England, you know, we get to the semi-final so close, we don't win it, and it's like, are we ever going to see England win the World Cup again?
92 last time, and we were obviously English champions then as well, weren't we? So.
But it's like
England are the Leeds of the international stage.
Because it's like, are England ever going to win a World Cup again? We got so close and we didn't do it. So with Leeds, if we don't get promoted this season, are we ever going to see Leeds United back in the Premier League?
Well, I dread to think because I don't know what Bielsa is going to do next season, whether we get promoted or not. That's the worrying thing. I mean, we've had an amazing coach for nearly a year now, and to have him not at Leeds next season is an unbearable thought because he's worked wonders, and what all the players that we might lose as well. It doesn't bear thinking about not getting promoted this season.
Yeah,
I've just had a look through it, and there's not a single footballer I recognise from Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
There's somebody who played for Wrexham. That's about as close as it comes.
A Welsh Trinidad and Tobago.
I mean, they're not a football.
That sums it up.
They're not a footballing country.
That sums it up.
Do you think Bielsa will leave if we don't get promoted this season?
Yes.
I don't know. He's got a second-year option, hasn't he? He might leave if we get promoted. I don't know. He's that sort of character, isn't he? You don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
The fact that he's lasted 40 games, 38 games now, is just amazing.
Yeah.
I thought the Spygate thing might have ended him when teams and officials were picking on his.
Kind of did for a few weeks.
I thought that press conference when he announced it, I thought this is it, he's going to leave, but thankfully he didn't. So
that would have been peak Leeds United.
I don't want to think life without Bielsa at the moment.
No, neither do I.
Manager leaving in disgrace after being caught doing something unethical is peak Leeds.
Yeah. It's not a very good headline either.
Back on to England then. So Czech Republic this Friday. Predictions? Thoughts going into this
easy
one?
1-0 win. Kane.
1-0.
Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be 2-0. I'm going to go Sterling England goal. Always nice to predict something that won't happen.
Yeah, I've got 3-1. And England versus Montenegro on Monday.
1-0 again, Kane.
Always seems to be that with England. Just 1-0 as Kane on like the 80th minute or something.
Just let him play on his own, he'll win it.
It'll be 4-0 against Montenegro.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
We might as well get Big Sam in for the qualifiers and just get Gareth for the tournament, you know. Mix it around a little bit.
I reckon we will win these two games, though. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think we will.
Eventually, Eddie Howe will be England manager. I'm certain.
Of course he will, yeah. Then we'll win the World Cup.
Yeah. Kev, you do a lot of work still for the Leeds United Trust. And
I do, yeah.
You've got a message to us.
I'm privileged to be part of the Trust. We're doing great work at the moment, yeah. The Food Bank charity is our charity of the year. Our aim was to get 10,000 meals by the end of the season. We've got 4 games to go. We've got 1,180 meals donated on Saturday before the Sheffield United game, which is an amazing. Thank you for everybody who donated. We only need 1,620 to go with 4 matches to go. So surely we can do that to get our 10,000 target. So well done, everybody. It's been a great achievement. The food banks are a great charity. They do a lot of work for families within the West Yorkshire region. Hopefully they'll continue to do so after the season finishes, but it would be great to get that 10,000 target by the time we finish the season, and I'm sure we will. Yeah, it would be great. So get down to the food banks and just anything, tins of beans, tins of tuna. Tin of dog food, tin of dog food as well. Dogs need feeding as well, for families. Yeah, so get down there and help out and get them to their target. That would be brilliant. Donate whenever you can. Yeah. But that brings us to the end of episode 13 of the podcast. Just wish happy birthday to Charles for tomorrow. Happy birthday, Charles, for tomorrow. Yeah. I've had a small birthday this week, but I don't like to mention it. Happy birthday as well. 18th of March, yeah. Thank you, Charles. Happy birthday as well, Kev. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my birthday's not for another... Well, we won't mention yours then. Yeah, yours it's not for like another 8 months. Yours is ages away, mate. But thank you. Yeah, to celebrate, I'll just quickly throw in, we went to the Ivy on Sunday for a nice little meal in Leeds. Sat behind us, Mr. Ian Hart and his family. Wow. My wife says... Don't bother him, he's eating his meal. Don't ask for a selfie. Just let him enjoy his meal. Okay, so I didn't bother him, but nice to see him there anyway. Yeah. Great free kick taker. Oh, fantastic. Awesome free kick taker. Couldn't defend to save his life, though. He really couldn't. Good agent, though. Good agent. Oh, good agent, yeah. Great agent. Jack Clark, yeah. Yeah. But thank you to Charles, as always, for joining me. Thanks for having me. And happy birthday for tomorrow. Kev, thank you for joining us for a second time. Always a pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure. Really do. Lucky 13, I hope, as well. Yeah, lucky 13. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's listened. Make sure to download, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes if you can. That'd be very much appreciated. Share the podcast around as well. Follow All Things Leeds on all social media platforms, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They're all
down below in the description on whenever you're listening or watching. So make sure you go follow us. Thank you very much. Me and Charles will be back next week to look back on the England games and then look ahead to the Millwall game.
Yeah, spending the morning talking about Millwall. Looking forward to it already.
But yeah, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.